Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Resort Review. Today we're checking out another Disney official resort. It's Disney's Colorado Springs. It's technically a moderate resort with a nice deluxe Gran Destino Tower that they built just a few years ago. The whole resort is located around Dorado Lake. It's a fantastic property and I can't wait to show you all of it. If you like these types of videos, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I love making these videos and I post them from all around the world, so if you're into this sort of thing, this is the channel for you. Now, when Disney built the Gran Destino Tower, they moved all of the facilities for the front desk over to the new tower. So you'll see that the resort does have some different kind of dead space, and that's where the front desk used to be. But the Gran Destino Tower has an amazing look to it. It's themed to Destino, which is Disney and Salvador Dali's collaboration that was never truly finished until the early 2000s, but it's got a nice Spanish feel. The entire resort is Southwest and Mexican themed, and so this is sort of the Spanish part of that they built and kind of shoehorned into the theme. So it's kind of like the Spanish colonial tower if you want to look at it that way. But an amazing two-story balcony atrium right here, and overlooks the lake during the day. I was filming this at night, so you couldn't really see that, but we'll show you all of the lobby and the amenities in this tower. So over to the right is actually the front desk. Again, Disney offers mobile check-in, so you actually do not have to go to the desk at all during your stay. You can just use your Magic Band or your phone to enter your room and the pools, etc. No need for a room key. And then there's actually two fitness centers on property. This one is in the Gran Destino Tower on the lobby floor. Not a gigantic facility by any means, but it has nice new equipment from Life Fitness, I believe. And so that's an option if you're not getting enough exercise in the parks. Now on the ground floor of the main lobby, there's the Barcelona Lounge. So this in the morning is where you can get your specialty coffees that are themed to Spain. There's also a nice to-go fridge with lots of grab-and-go items in case you're looking for a quick breakfast before you run to the parks. And then in the evenings, they have a full bar. So really nice theme to Barcelona here. Makes me remember Gaudi and the Sagrada Familia, sort of that vibe. So really great job by Disney Imagineering making this space feel awesome. And there's plenty of plugs around at all the seating for you to get some work done in case you're here. Coronado Springs does have a huge convention center, and so a lot of the design of this resort has that convention goer in mind that may not be heading to the parks like some of you. And so from that Barcelona Lounge, there is a hallway that connects into the older part of the resort, and we'll check that out next. So there's a number of different restaurants on this floor, as well as a marketplace with grab and go, and the convention center itself. And then we're gonna check out the outside part of the resort and the other rooms, and then head up to the top floor of the Gran Destino Tower, where there's one amazing fine dining restaurant and lounge that is one of the best in Disney, in my opinion. So this room at the end of the hallway used to be the check-in desk for the Coronado Springs Resort, but now it's just used as spillover seating. They have a lot of plugs for people that are getting some work done. They have some chess, so a lot of areas just to hang out. It's a nice spot maybe to eat your grab-and-go breakfast that you'll grab from the marketplace El Mercado. But we'll check out the sports lounge and a number of other different restaurant venues here. So you'll definitely notice a theme change between the Gran Destino Tower and the rest of the resort. I think that it works fine and people don't really care too much. I wouldn't say it's the most continuous theme, but overall, love the value of this resort being a moderate resort. The Gran Destino Tower actually has a concierge lounge, so you can get free drinks in the evenings, breakfast, appetizers in the evenings, some extra services there. But now we're going to check out Panchitos, which is the resort's shop at this old entryway to Coronado Springs with an amazing mural on the ceiling here. Panchito, of course, is the bird from Three Caballeros. And then right next door to that is Cafe Rick's, which is mostly open in the mornings. It gets your croissants, your donuts, coffees. There's some grab and go materials as well. So you can check that out in the mornings. If you're on this side of the resort, that's definitely an option for you. But we're gonna keep walking down towards more restaurant options and the convention center complex. So this is Rick's Sports Cafe. So this is where you can watch a ton of games. It's located really close to the convention center complex, and so that's why I think it's more of a sports bar that's not really themed to the rest of the resort in any way that I could see. So those convention center guests will definitely want to keep up on sports and meet and watch the game, perhaps as part of their conferencing. And then over to the left here is El Mercado. So this is where you can get to-go items, you can get hot food pretty much all day. They have the self-serve soda machines, so you can dine in here, or you can take it back to your room. Lots of different options here. And then we'll take a look at one final restaurant in this area. So this is Maya Grill. This is the resort's original fine dining restaurant. It's Mexican themed to kind of the Yucatan, cenote, Mayan ruin theme. That definitely connects in with the pool complex that we'll show you in a bit. But if you love Mexican food and high-end Mexican food, this is probably the best option on Disney property besides the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. Rewinding back a little bit to near the Rick's Sports Cafe, there's a press penny machine at the entrance to the convention center complex. So the convention center complex is nothing special in terms of theming. There might be some Mexican or Southwestern art on the wall, but it is available for your conference going needs if needed. So let's go check out the outside part of the resort. So this place is absolutely massive. This big lake here, the pathways for the Coronado Springs Resort circle all the way around it. So originally you could have a room that is just incredibly far away from the front desk. Luckily during the renovations, they built the Three Bridges area, which is in the center of the resort with a nice restaurant and lounge that I'll show you in a bit. Has some cool dining options. But overall, we're going to check out the three different room types that are in this area. You have the Cabanas first, which is over here to the right of the Gran Destino Tower that I'm showing you right now. As I take you on a walk around this property, just remember that there used to be no bridge between the three areas in the center of the lake. You had to walk all the way around this thing to get back to the front desk. Luckily, this resort does have multiple bus stops for people. So the Cabanas over here has a bus stop, and then the Ranchos has a bus stop, and the Casitas has a bus stop, as well as the front near the Gran Destino Tower. So lots of options to grab a bus. It does make a big circle, so you may have to make multiple stops during your journey to the parks in the beginning of the day. So after this bridge, if you take a left, that'll take you to the dig site and the other areas of the resort, but we're gonna take a right first to check out the cabanas. Each little section outside the Gran Destino Tower has its own pool complex, as well as the dig site, which is the main theme pool for the resort. So if you're looking for a quieter pool option that isn't really themed and probably less children, those are definitely options for you. Each little area has laundry facilities, as well as some vending machines, so nothing to worry about there. I didn't get a chance to stay in these rooms this trip. I stayed in the Gran Destino Tower, so I'll show you that room towards the end of this video. But all the other rooms that are outside the Gran Destino Tower are kind of motel style in that there's no interior walkway for the rooms. It's all exposed to the elements outside. I mean, of course it's undercover, but you are exposed to the elements walking to these buildings. So something to keep in mind if you're traveling to Orlando during the rainy season. And there's kind of always rain in Orlando anyway, so just something to keep in mind when booking this resort. So here's that pool complex for the cabanas, and then now we're gonna walk closer in to the cabanas and show you the bus stop, and then we'll walk over to the Rancho area. Now, in terms of theming of these three areas outside the Gran Destino Tower, I like the ranchos the most. It kind of reminded me of my home in the Southwest. I liked all the cacti and plants. I think Disney did a great job landscaping this area. They had some cool rock work, and then they had their own pool. It felt very private, very quiet. So if it were my pick, I would choose the ranchos, but to each their own. It is the furthest away from the front desk. So now we're back on the main path. If you take a left there, that'll take you to the dig site and back towards the Gran Destino Tower, but we're gonna hang a right and head over to the casitas. So here is the pool for the casitas, and now we're gonna make our way across the bridge, past the Three Bridges Lounge, and over to the dig site, the main pool for the resort. This Casitas area was also sort of the nicest area, I think, back when the resort didn't have a tower. So you have some fun games over here to play, and then it's also where the resort's spa is and other fitness center. So you can definitely see that this bridge saves you a ton of time cutting across the lake. Back in the day, you had to walk all the way around. So this is the dig site. So this is like the lost city of Cibola. It's ultra themed. It's one of my favorite pool complexes on the Disney property. You've got a nice hot tub there that fits a ton of people. And then you have this awesome Mayan temple that's super themed. It's a cool fountain coming down. There's a slide over to the right with a Jaguar that spits at you. So we'll show you everything here in the pool complex now. There are a ton of resort activities, and a lot of that happens near the pool. You can check the schedule during your stay to see what might interest you if you're just taking a break from the parks one day. Lots of options over here. Nice kiddie playground over to the right, and there's a bigger playground over to the left of the temple. But then now we're going to check out the Jaguar Slide. So when I filmed this initially, it was daytime. You can see the Jaguar over there to the right. Great slide for kids. But the slide was open super late at night, and so I got back from the parks and wanted to film it. So excuse the sort of late night filming here, but wanted to detail how long this slide actually was. And we're back to daytime. So here's the slide. Now we're gonna walk around the temple and over to the playground. So I think this is like one of just Disney's best things ever. I just love how themed this playground is and how much fun the kids can have. In the pool area, it's all kind of confined to this zone, and you're up against the Mayan temple that just looks like it's been in the Florida jungle for forever. Really cool. And then of course they have an arcade here. So they actually had an arcade like competition later in the afternoon, which I thought was cool. But lots and lots of games here for everyone to play. And then of course there is the pool bar Siestas that has sort of your burgers and fries, as well as a full bar. So that is an option for you if you're hungry near the pool. And just a note, there are no other restaurants that are located in the Cabanas or the Casitas or the Ranchos. So this is probably your closest food option unless you walk over to the Three Bridges restaurant when it's open. And then finally, there's some volleyball over here. So great amenities here for a moderate resort. And now we're back near that convention center complex where the El Mercado was. There's actually a Laguna bar. And so they have some food and then they have signature cocktails. So if it's a nice evening, you can sit by the lake and enjoy. And so now let's take the elevators where you do have to select your floor before getting on board and head up to the Dahlia Lounge and Toledo, which is the fancy, fancy restaurants here at the Coronado Springs Resort now. Great views of the theme parks, fireworks at night. Just really spectacular. They have an open air lounge. You don't need a reservation to head up to this bar. So if you miss out on a Toledo reservation, there is that option. They do have some limited food options and fantastic cocktails, which I was able to enjoy. But this is all still themed to kind of Barcelona, Salvador Dali. So really a lot of fun. Next, I headed over to Toledo for my dinner. So loved this restaurant, loved the look of it. The colors on the ceiling changed as your meal continued. Really just an amazing look of the place. 2 olive trees. Olives are a big feature of Spanish food. So definitely check this place out if you're on property or even if making a special trip. I think that this is just absolutely fantastic. They have all the Spanish staples, pan con tomate. They have some warm olives that I got as a little appetizer there. And then I got some hanger steak, which I thought represented a pretty nice deal. Open air kitchen for preparing some of your items. So really a lot of fun. And if you're done with the parks for the day, they do have movies under the stars when the weather allows. So they were showing a movie that night. Here's a nice shot of the resort at night. So Disney really comes alive with their lighting packages at night, I think. Especially the pool area. The pool area was open until I think 11 p.m. the night that I stayed on property. So really a great feature there. But I'm heading over to the Three Bridges area to check out what they have there. So it was a really nice night the night that I stayed here. So I did sit out and watch some of the NCAA tournament and enjoy their sangria flight. So there was, I think, a pretty good deal. You got 4 different sangrias to try. They actually offer a sangria making class as well. So now we're on my floor at the Gran Destino Tower. They do have laundry facilities on my floor as well. And a nice, cool turning hallway here that is just really a lot of fun. So let's check out my just standard king room here. So sliding door into the bathroom, really high-end fixtures, I think, here. You know, you have a nice rainfall style shower. You have the pump for shampoos and conditioners in the shower, but then they also gave some aloe and mouthwash, etc., which I think is nice. I think Disney does a great job with their toiletries and providing a lot of free options for people when they stay. Separate door for the bathroom, 2 sinks, which is great. And then you have a big bureau for storing some of your hanging clothes. And now for the main part of the room, we have a nice area to store your luggage. You have a coffee maker, ice bucket, and then a fridge. Good desk for working, nice big TV. That couch, which I don't believe pulled out. And then a nice king bed here with a nice little Barcelona mirror. Didn't have a great view, but I liked the shape of this window. I thought that was pretty unique.